Good day and welcome back to another DB Legends video. In this video we are going to be taking on the full power battle versus Jiren. So this is the brand new battle against Jiren full power. Obviously this is for the awakening power for the 3 free-to-play units. It is to note that full power battles have traditionally been pretty difficult events. The 4 teams that are required are God Key, Universal Survival, Extreme and Girl, and of course we also have the event exclusive. There are battle bonus characters, and also they do provide a nice bit of information about how to take on the event in the information tab. Of course, there is a slight difference about the tactics when taking on this event, and we'll talk about that during the fight against Jiren. But there are 3 difficulties. The difficulties will give scaling rewards, as you guys saw before. One of the main draws being the anniversary coins that everyone obviously wants and needs to complete those missions for those 4,000 chrono crystals, alongside also, of course, the Z-Power for the free-to-play units. Now, I'm going to use only event-exclusive characters for my attempt at Jiren, and then we're going to see how it goes. But I would like to note that you should definitely not do this, and you should use battle bonus characters wherever possible, and ideally, like, exclusively battle bonus characters. Now, of course, just to kind of put everything into perspective, the first team is God Key. You're going to want to soul boost and level all of these units because it is going to help you out quite a bit. It's one of those things that is quite helpful overall to soul boost and level them. It increases your overall power level. It's going to assist you greatly. Secondly, also try and select a comrade. You're going to use friends or guild members. Try and utilize these units as well. They give you quite a sizable boost. The second category is Universal Survival Saga, and this can follow the same vein. Now, unfortunately, here you do have battle bonus kind of options in the form of the Krillin, Goku, and the Tien. I myself personally suggest using Krillin for the Universal Survival Saga one, and then using Tien for the event exclusive one, so that you can get 2 free bonus characters out of at least 2 of the free-to-play units if you do not have any other battle bonus characters. But ideally, again, you're going to want to use battle bonus characters that are summonable. We're talking the UI Goku, we're talking the yellow Vegeta, we're talking about the blue Vegeta, we're talking about green Jiren, we're talking about blue Kale. We're talking about all of these units because yes, they are actually incredibly helpful in terms of your performance. Some of them have pretty drastic boosts, and it's notable that you're going to want to use them. Now, this is the Extreme Girls one. You're going to want to use green Jiren where possible. Again, if you cannot, then you're going to need to obviously find a solution. Unfortunately, the only effective battle bonus characters here are green Jiren and the blue Kale, both of which obviously come from the summonable banner for UI Goku. So if you're not going to have too much luck, then you're going to have to take this on as best you can. Now, obviously, it is notable, again, that this is a very tough event, so you may want to work on equipment for your units, and you're going to want to soul boost these units. As you can see, the Caulifla that I'm using, for example, hasn't been soul boosted, so obviously I'm going to want to try and soul boost that Caulifla so that I can get a much better performance out of it. Ideally as well, I also want to level some of the girls units that are only level 1, and I want to I want to soul boost those units as well. It's all going to give me a very nice edge overall and a nice power increase. Here for event exclusive, obviously you just kind of have to roll with the event exclusive units. These are the farmable units that you get from events themselves. So these are units like Legends Road units, these are units like the ultra rare Goku and Vegeta, and the ultra rare Shenron, who I don't have but you should probably get. I'm also going to work on him because he is someone that's going to help out quite a bit. And ideally, yes, you do want to use these guys, but you also need to factor in things like ability boost and how that's going to assist you as well. So do your best there. Now, of course, I switched TN out of Team 2, so it's just telling me to go fix that, but make sure that you have comrades for every single team where possible. I'm doing this event quite early on, so it's a little bit difficult to find comrades, but you'll see that I have a power level of 8.1 million, and Jiren in normal mode has a power level of 9.7. I am going to level and soul boost the girls team, and this will give me a slight power increase, and we'll come back once all of that's done, and then you'll be able to see the power increase that I have and how much better that team is going to be. So once we've done that, we'll quickly well, there'll be a skip. You don't need to worry too much about it. As you can see, the skip occurred, and I'm now at 8.7. This was simply by soul boosting Caulifla and then doing leveling and soul boosting of the other units that I chose with her. So you can see immediately that sizable increase. Now, of course, the rewards are simple, Z power, and we are going for the anniversary coins. 8.7 mil is still a million underneath the power requirement, and that's quite noticeable. Very often you will be under the power requirement. It is just something that you have to deal with, really. So in terms of full power battles, obviously the strategy is a lot different to the other content that you might have played in Dragon Ball Legends. So in terms of the full power battle, the main difference to what I would consider the comparative game mode is obviously, co-op, hyperdimensional co-op, or even worldwide raids. Both of those, the incentive is to break the enemy and then to attack them with your Rising Rush. So that's great, but here it's entirely different. So you want to attack this enemy during their limit status with your Rising Rush, so that you are able to do a large amount of damage to break their barrier and thus limit break them. During this period, however, you need to make sure that you also have special cards available. You will see in the bottom of my bar that I have a little Ki Blast that is glowing with yellow around it. That is a all-out attack. You get all-out strike attacks and you get all-out Ki Blast based attacks. Now, if you want to win in the form of full power battle, you need to make sure that A, you have your Rising Rush, B, you have your strike all-out attack, and basically your Ki based all-out attack as well. If you have these, you should be able to limit break the boss, and thus you'll be able to avoid their limit break massive AoE health debuff or health attack. Basically, they do a massive AoE attack that reduces the health dramatically on all of your units at the same time. There are a couple of things that you should also do. One is assisting your allies. Assisting your allies is very crucial because once you go through the first limit break, you will need all of the draw card speed you can get to get your second Rising Rush in time to finish it. So the big issue here is that basically, again, you are needing to rely on your draw card speed. Now, for units like these, they don't do a lot of damage, so getting the draw cards for the second Rising Rush is imperative so that I can break the limit break. For battle bonus characters, or if you have a lot of battle bonus characters, you don't need to rely so much on having the Rising Rush and all-out attacks. You can probably just use the Rising Rush. I also suggest saving any ultimate attacks you have when you get to the limit break status, because that's also very important. And like I said, you need to make sure that you're assisting the entire way through. You need your link bonus to be at 100%, and you need to assist these units whenever you can. Now, it's also important, you will notice very soon, we're going to get to this phase here, where we now have to evade these attacks. So you need to evade forward and backwards. The issue you're going to have here is that the AI are not good at all. So if you evade forwards and backwards, essentially, unfortunately, the AI are not very good. So a lot of them may die here, especially if you don't have battle bonus characters. So it's another problem. As you can see, I used my all-out rush. I'm now going to use my Rising Rush, and this is going to be another source of big damage, but I'm still not going to be able to take away the limit bar in full. This is because the Goku died, which reduces my Rising Rush's damage, and also I didn't have a second all-out attack, which would have helped me to finish off the bar. As you can see, the Rising Rush does a pretty good chunk of damage. If we'd had Goku, it would have done even more. And then we could have done the all-out attack or a couple ultimates and been able to knock Jiren out. Because we're not, you're going to notice that all of my units are going to take a large amount of AoE damage here. So you can see immediately I took damage, I'm almost dead. You can see that Caulifla was immediately reduced to 1 health. Basically any unit that's not a battle bonus character is going to take an immense amount of damage in this period, and it's not something you're going to be able to avoid. Unfortunately, it's part of the game mode. So as you can see, we are struggling here. We've got 2 enemies dead and we're going to get knocked out. Now, it's important to take note that this was only a first attempt and it is an incredibly hard game mode. Ideally, I could try again, and I probably will have a decent time, especially if Goku manages to stay alive. It will require a couple of attempts, especially if you're trying to do this without the battle bonus characters. So I do suggest that you try and use those if you have them, or use any of them if you have them. It is going to help you quite a bit. You can see how all of them are, given battle bonuses. Some are worse than others, like Goku and Vegeta have much more notably significant bonuses than, for example, Fusion Zamasu, but you can use Fusion Zamasu if you have other options, very similarly with Yellow Vegeta, and then you have Yellow Krillin, who's also pretty decent, and so on and so forth. So I highly suggest that you take on this stage. I wish you guys the best of luck. I will be doing a video about clearing the normal difficulty pretty soon, but yeah, this is everything you need to know, and bye.